Hey, it's Kirsten from Backyard.Garden. I have my hose that actually burst during the freeze, and so you can repair those instead of just throwing out a whole hose, which is excellent, especially for how much you pay for hoses at this point. And depending on where it is on the hose, whether it's like middle or end, or which end, you know, the female end or the male end, you have different menders to do that. And I'm going to show you today how to do that. This is actually great. It's right towards the end, so when I cut it, you don't lose as much length. And I, don't want to throw my hose away. So, how I'm going to do that? First, I'm going to disconnect everything I've got. Oh, and the materials that I've collected for this, I kind of brought out a couple of mender things. You can find these. The dollar store has them, Home Depot, Lowe's, nurseries. They have different kinds. This one is universal hose mender, so like if you had it in the middle of the hose, you could cut off the break, and then you would put this on one end and this on the other, and you would mend it together in the middle. And that's one kind. And you have another one. This one is just for the end, which is actually where I'm at. This is probably a better end than this one I'm going to be putting on, but to repair it, I will have to cut it all off and do it. And so you need something to cut the hose, so you need something kind of brawny, like pruners or something like that. Screwdriver to take apart the things. Sometimes you can also use like a metal crank end. There's different kinds, but you'll need what is that called? Phillips? Yeah, Phillips. Phillips head screwdriver, whatever, the star thing. And then I'm going to go ahead and put on another piece that's the quick release that I'm just going to do because I'm down here. I might as well do that, and so I can put on like my fertilizers and stuff like that, and quickly switch it out with the wand hose, which I love, and I'll talk about wand hoses one day in a different video. But that's my favorite. Okay, so let's get started. First, you don't want to take off too much, but you want to be able to work with it. So we'll see if these are strong enough, because this is kind of a strong industrial hose, and this is probably going to make some people freak out about cutting your hose. No, don't cut your hose. Well, it's really good. So anyway, and then, okay, so showing you, they basically have it on a thing so it doesn't separate. You just cut this off because it's kind of like a zip tie. It won't come back off. So I'm going to cut off the middle post and don't litter. And then, screwdriver, I'm going to take this tightener off, and this is what's going to hold the hose on when the pressure of the water is turned back on, and keep it from just shooting off the end and having the same problem as we had. So anyway, this takes a second. All right, so now that I have taken this off, so looking at the piece, you just pull them apart, and I have kept the screws here, so don't lose your screws. And then you're left with this, okay, which is just a brand new hose end. And I can't salvage this one, unfortunately. If I really wanted to, I might be able to get this rubber off and then salvage this nicer end, but I'm not going to. So, oh, sorry, I should say, well, depending on what you have, if you had like the metal cinching type where you tighten it down, you'd have to thread that on before you put this in. But since this one closes over without the need to have that one threaded on first, you just put it around. And they do come in different sizes, like I don't know where this thing is. Like this one says it works for 5/8 inch to 3/4 inch hoses. So make sure, in general, that will be most people's hoses, so you won't have a problem. But, take a look at that, this one. So now that I have it around, and you want it to be as flush as possible with that area, And then we're going to try to wrestle. In fact, let me turn this around so that the screws are going upwards and I can more easily work on it. Line it up, and then we're going to screw it all together. And it may not look awesome because remember, it's a repair, so it's not going to be as resilient as your original hose was, but it will definitely get you many more uses. Now, can you see that where it's starting to tighten together? And this is what's going to cinch the mending together so that you can put as much pressure on it as the water is going to. And I remember one of my old mentors teaching me to do this when I was in the industry, and it was like mind-blowing that you could repair a hose. And that it works so well afterwards. So this is definitely one of the best how-to things I learned, and it definitely use. And I don't know, Jenny might be watching this. She is on the group, but she used to work with me, and I don't think it was her that taught me. I think it was Carl. Carl is actually no longer with us, but he was a good mentor. Donna, I think she's on the group. Anyway, so we've got this, and you just want to make sure that it's nice and secure. The screws are not stripped. You want as much pressure as possible to be put on this, and it holds. Okay, so as far as I can tell, that's pretty good. You can see this side is not as good. I might work with it a little bit more and make sure that it's like lining up. That might be a problem with that. Nope, it's good. So now I'm going to add on my quick release coupler. And again, it's one of those where you pull this down and then you can quick release it. Anyway, and then some there, that may not be good. Oh well. If I've done everything correctly, then I've got quick release so I can do fertilizer and this won't leak. Okay, so, ooh, new bud. Okay, so I'm going to turn on the hose, and I have many different manifests, I guess. So that's for this one, and I have it open. And if you notice, it's not leaking from the place I repaired it, it's leaking from here. So I'm going to see what happened. Yes. Quick release. It's actually messed up. So it's, yep, it wasn't tightened on enough. So let's try one more time. See? So I might have to get in there and put a new O-ring, which again, O-rings will repair so many of your leaks. But in the meantime, since I don't want to be hosed, I am going to take off this quick release and just leave it with the repair. And that way I can just take care of business, since I had to repair this to water something, and I don't really want to spend more time on that thing. But there are other ones if that quick release is not working. So let's try one more time. And if you notice, no leak. Well, there's that, but it's no leak. Okay. Excellent. And again, the best part is turning it off, and then you don't have to, you can control the pressure that comes out. So if you've got a pot that's going to wash out on the end, this keeps it from, coming out in a huge flow, or, truly get it coming. And when you're going over concrete or something else moving around, we can keep from getting it on all the other foliage and creating mildew and, our human problems. All right, that's how you mend a hose. Thanks. Bye, guys.